welcome to Wages of Cine's 12 Days of Christmas. This is Eric Miller coming to you live from my bedroom. Tonight I have watched, it is a foreign movie. It is all subtitled with the exception of a couple English lines. I believe it was filmed in, I think it says Norway, but the credits say Sweden, Norway, so somewhere with snow. I enjoyed this movie. I was hoping for something else, and it turned into kind of a comic funny at the end. I don't know how I really feel about that. The first hour of it, it's an hour and 22 minutes. The first hour I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of suspense, a lot of, cool stuff happening. And then the last 20 minutes or so, just kind of, it gets a little like, I'm not going to read the back. I'll just tell you. I'll go through the main characters real quick. We can throw some pictures of them up so you can see them, and I'm probably going to totally butcher the names because they're all foreign. There's the father and son, whose father is Rauno, son is Pitari. He's kind of the hero. Their neighbor is Imo and his son Juso. And then their neighbor Piparinen. Let's say that works. So there's 3 adults, 2 kids. The main kid, Pitari, still has belief in Santa, so he is kind of the only one who figures it out. But what happens is they're up in the mountains, and there's I think an American team up on the mountain, and they're digging for something.
This mountain is like a giant icebox.
Storing what?
We are standing on the biggest burial mound in the world.
And it turns out they have dug up something, ancient, evil. What could it be? There's kind of a head American scientist, financier, who's paying for all this, who apparently knows what's going on, but not telling his crew. So anyway, I think it's Christmas Eve. The mountain goes quiet. All the animals, I think their trade for the locals is reindeer meat. They catch and kill and sell the meat. That's where they get their money. So all their reindeer show up dead.
Minkälaiset sudet tekee tämmöstä jälkeen?
Isot ja vittumaiset.
So they gotta go up to this mountain to get their, basically they want to figure out what's going on and get their money back, because these miners they think the miners have, through the excavation, scared the local wildlife either away, or they've scared wolves in that have killed all their reindeer, so now they're out of all their money. So they kind of want revenge. They go up there, they realize there's a little bit more going on. There's no one up there, it's all frozen. They see a giant hole. At the same time, in one of their traps, they set these traps for wolves. They just dig a big hole, put some meat over it and put spikes in, and the wolves come for the meat and fall in and die. They catch there's a body in there, and so they think it's a dead miner from up top. They're gonna, instead of calling the authorities, they decide, hey, let's just chop this up. But it turns out that the human is still alive and slowly regains its abilities to move around, and it's just this naked old man. It turns out that what they dug up in the mountain was Krampus in a big block of ice. And Krampus's elves, as they're called, are basically naked old men who look like Santa Claus, with the beards and they run around, and because the kids are bad, these Santa elves are stealing them and replacing them with straw dolls, which are relatively creepy when you see them. But I was kind of disappointed when I saw, when you see the Santa elf that they catch in the trap, and I thought that was, the villain, that was Krampus, and because he had this really sinister, just old man look. He didn't talk, he just looked, and he only cared about the kid because that's what he had come for. But then you realize at the end that there's this big frozen block of Krampus in a warehouse, and all these little naked old men running around killing and stealing the kids are just Krampus's elves. And it was, it was a neat little twist. Like I said, at the end, the last 20 minutes it went from kind of cool horror suspense into a kind of a dark comedy, in that they captured all these Santa elves and basically rehabbed them into regular Santas and shipped them off to different countries. They sold them and shipped them off. That's why it's called rare exports, because they literally are shipping Santas to different places. So, I really enjoyed like I said, the first hour is awesome. The last 20 minutes, you never really see Krampus. You see him, a frozen block with, big horns. But, it was a fun watch. I'm glad this was given to me to watch. I definitely enjoyed it. It's not my movie. It's not, it's a nice twist on it. I was hoping it would go one way and it didn't, but whatever. But it was fun. It was a good time. So I would recommend this. Rare Exports. I'm going to give it I'm going to rate this on a scale 1 to 5. 1 being never watch again. 5 being high rewatchability. I'm going to give this 4 mean old Santa elves, because I would probably watch this again at some point in my life, just for that first hour. But yeah, give it a look. It's Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. So that's it. Tune in tomorrow for another review by one of the gang. And happy holidays, and we'll see you next year, I suppose. So Merry Christmas.